Hello and welcome to India Today. This is Hesha Chima and joining me for a conversation here is Kritika Kamra. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for allowing
Welcome
me. Yes, I'm your lovely house. I love it. I love the color palette and the color
Thank you.
tones that you use, and you're looking stunning as always.
Thank you.
As I was telling you.
Yeah.
But tell me, how are we doing today? Gyara Gyara has happened.
Yes.
You've been a part of OTT shows even through like last year and even right now.
Yeah.
क्या चल क्या रहा है? How are you feeling?
अब नई शूट चल रही है.
अरे वाह.
So yeah, Gyara Gyara is out and it's getting love and people are writing to me. In fact, just this morning my father sent me उनके friends के कोई group पे जहाँ पे reactions आ रहे हैं वो मुझे भेज रहे हैं. So every day I get some new reactions on Gyara Gyara and it's nice. It's nice to get that love because you work on something for so long and then it releases, you know. So there's a lot of anticipation, lots of excitement around it.
Yeah.
अब थोड़ा सा settle हो गया है because now most reactions have come in and they've all been positive.
Right.
So that's great.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
You know, so I was just thinking before I was coming over, whenever I've spoken to you, I've always spoken to you when there has been a larger bunch of other actors as well during like a
Yes,
promotion or
that's
something
true.
like that. It's the first time we're actually having a one-on-one conversation. So I was like, damn, this is my time to get to know her a little better, to understand like where she is in life, not just personally but also professionally. So I'm actually going to straight start up this conversation, which is asking
Shoot
you and
away.
getting to know you, which is, what is Kritika like in her days when she's not working?
Very lazy.
All of us?
No, but like really. That's why there's so many like cozy corners in this house also because I am just quite lazy when I'm not working.
Yeah.
I take my time off very seriously. It's a lot about self-care and then I am a huge content junkie. I watch everything and I don't even feel guilty about it because I think ये तो मेरा काम है. This is a part of my job.
Right.
I can watch anything
Right, of course.
for as many hours
Damn.
Yeah.
Without feeling guilty about
without
it.
feeling guilty.
But then tell me something, does it happen to you when you're consuming certain type of content, particularly which you're drawn to a lot more, you sort of want to ape that in the kind of work that you are doing eventually as an actor? Does it happen to you?
I want to ape that in my choices. I wish I could, क्योंकि ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता because I have to choose from what's coming to me, what's being made in our country, what's being
Right.
made today, right now, you know, from the scripts that that one is reading. But of course, when you watch something that hugely inspires you, you're like, ऐसा कुछ करना है. I wish somebody makes this. I really wish I could do this here. तो वो तो होता रहता है मेरे साथ. I find things that I obsess about and I'm also somebody who will watch something और उसके बाद में जाके 4 घंटे उसके ऊपर research कर दूँगी. हर interview, every actor interview, every BTS video, trivia, whatever is available, you know, on YouTube or whatever, I go and watch it.
Okay. Tell me, in your growing up years, you know, when you just sort of set foot in the industry and when you were yourself acting and you were very new, okay, so I'm going to take you back there when you were damn new into this whole industry. Let's say 1-1.5 साल हो गया होगा. Was there a particular person, since you mentioned you're an obsessive person in terms of watching videos and understanding, did you follow or track somebody's, let's say, trajectory or filmography in particular back then?
No, not really, not consciously, not as an actor to ape their journey.
For sure, but like an
because that's not
inspiration.
possible only, you know, because it's about what are your choices and like I was saying earlier, what are you reading. But of course, actors who are your favorite actors, you kind of, you wait for their things to come.
Yeah.
So I think Tabu has been one such actor.
Yeah.
Konkana is that actor for me. Vidya Balan is that actor for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, people who were just doing clutter-breaking stuff and doing these great roles in a male-dominated world and, you know, strong female characters. I've really admired those actresses and the work that they've done. So, I think it's somewhere subconsciously, maybe now that I think of it, the kind of stuff that I'm doing on OTT is somewhere maybe subconsciously inspired from these many great actresses.
Right.
To, you know, to be able to add to that list or to be able to work in something that is of the same kind. Yeah.
You know, when you start off, probably it's not the right thing to have like a set backdrop in terms of where you're feeling that, okay, these are my negotiables and these are my non-negotiables as an actor.
Yeah.
But I think over the years, when you've been, you know, you spend so much time in the industry, you tend to have like your negotiables and your non-negotiables. Have you sort of understood that for yourself?
Yeah, gradually. And you're so right, when you start off in anything, I think, and this is not even a gender specific thing, it's like with anything, if you're new in a particular field or in a profession, there is a long way to go till you reach a point where you have some negotiation power. Uske pehle to jo the rules are set by other people, you have to kind of fit in. and then comes a point where you become sort of like important in the scheme of things, or when people want you for the niche that you have, you're known for now.
Correct.
And then you can have a list of your do's and don'ts, and I have them now. Yes, I think one of them, just taking off from what I said earlier, one of them is definitely that I want my character to be a well-rounded character. I am not interested in doing one song in a film, or like, or being just like a the love interest of the protagonist but have nothing to do with the plot, what I mean?
Right.
Or just characters that are not well etched, and there are many women characters, female characters like that. I mean, of late the writing has become much better, and there are some great strong parts to play, and I get attracted to those a lot. But that's one thing that I look out for. The other thing is that I've realized that shooting is a very intimate process, and you spend a lot of time with the team that you're working with. So it's very important for me to work with people who inspire me or who I'm comfortable with. Comfortable as in I'm open to challenges. Professionally uncomfortable hona to kaam hai hamara as an actor.
Correct.
But I want to know the people that I'm working with. I want to trust the people I'm working with. That's also a boundary now. There are a few other things. There are some things that if I don't believe in something, in the politics of a certain project, or what it's trying to say about maybe a certain issue or society or anything, if I don't agree with it, or if I think that it's some sort of propaganda, then I will not do it.
Right.
So yeah, these are some of the hard lines. A lot of the small stuff you can still negotiate and work things around.
Correct. But yeah, these sort of become the ground rules. But then tell me something, the vibe that I'm getting from you, it's a very good vibe in which that you are somebody who's very strongly opinionated. You may or may not voice it, that's perfectly your choice. But is it tough to be a woman who has her opinions, who time and again wishes to oscillate from like putting it out there and then keeping it back? Is it tough?
It's not if you detach from how people are receiving it.
Right, fair.
Okay, I think a lot of times, in fact, I want to say that it's not that tough. More people should try it. It's actually fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, it's fun, and it's okay. I feel like as women, we're constantly told that you have to be friendly, you have to be likable, you have to be agreeable in a workspace or even socially and everything, So we are so hardwired to please or to make other people comfortable or to put them before us. I want to say that I've tried the other side and it's not so bad. So, it's okay. It's fine to have opinions and voice them. And it's also a very good filter, because that will filter out people who anyway did not trust you or did not really take you seriously.
Sure.
If they don't take your opinion, into consideration or even listen to it. It'll kind of just filter that out for you, and it's good to know that, no? It's good to know that you're respected as a professional, as a person, as a thinking mind.
Yeah. Tell me something, was there ever a moment in your life where you felt that, you gave it your all, let's say professionally, and then you felt that the result of that did not sort of suffice or match up to what you thought of it in your head? And then if that happened, all I want to know is how did you sort of come out with that? Because that's a tough thing to do.
That happens. Not everything is going to be successful in a conventional way. But again, I keep saying this, it's sometimes hard for me to slot things as successful or not, because sometimes you may have had a great time making something, or or maybe it's something that you learned a lot from and has helped you grow as a person, or you've made a great set of friends on that set. There's so many things you can take away. So if one of those boxes is ticked, then it's actually successful, even if it's not done the numbers that one expected it to do. And for me, a lot of the times the takeaway just kind of finishes with filming.
Okay.
Agar mujhe maza aa gaya, to mujhe aa gaya. Like if I've learned something, if this has been a core memory for me, if this has been a memory if this has been a great experience for me, that experience really, really counts, because that's what motivates me to go to work. I go to work to re-experience that, and not to say ki aaj I'm going to be a part of something that is going to break all records or whatever. So it doesn't really affect me that much, the reception of something, but of course disappointments happen on small level, and on even like sometimes if you've tested for something and you've not got it, that's also a disappointment.
Right.
Or if everybody around you thought that this one thing is going to be life changing, and it did not turn out to be that. Those kind of things have happened to me, and I have no solution, I have no advice for this. It just, you feel like shit for a while, it just feels bad, and the only thing is that you cannot marinate it in it, the only thing is that you can't marinate in it for very long. I don't do that. I don't, hope and pray and wait for that one thing that will change my life.
Would you consider
professionally
yourself,
or personally?
No, but then would you consider yourself to be thick-skinned?
I consider myself to be a realist.
Okay, take it like that.
Yeah.
Makes
I'm
sense.
not overly optimistic. I'm borderline pessimistic. It works in my favor because it saves me from all the hurt that could come my way.
Damn.
I'm not even kidding. This is true. It works for me. Okay, so whatever. But no. But I think I'm a realist. So because I regulate my expectations time and again,
right,
it sort of keeps me in the real world. Otherwise, actors can tend to get delusional.
I was just going to say that it happens because no, I'll tell you why also, because you also have people surrounding you are there to like, थोड़ा मस्ता पॉलिश हो जाता है.
और दोनों चीजें होती है. कई बार आपके आसपास people can tell you कि ये मतलब कि अगर if you only have people around you who keep telling you कि you are too good यार, तू best है, तूने this is going to change your life, or just do this thing, or give you that advice, then there are also people who will constantly criticize you,
right?
Okay, or like pull you down. दोनों चीजें होती हैं. तो the being a realist or being rational helps me to kind of take a step back and assess it, and then I take the good from the good and the bad from the bad. कि इतना criticism ठीक है, मैं इस पे कुछ कर सकती हूँ, मैं काम कर सकती हूँ.
Right.
This is helpful to me. Or like, okay, this person loves me, supports me, but like my parents, they are my worst critics. मैं कुछ भी कर लूँ, उनको लगता है कि दुनिया की best चीज़ है, ठीक है? They are my biggest fans. They are the first fans of everything I do. They will watch reruns of things. They will go write about it. They will send it to the whole family. Like, it's so sweet. But also, they can never criticize me. They will never tell me कि ये ठीक नहीं हुआ.
वो तो प्यार जो होता है वो
उनका unconditional है. I understand. But फिर मैं उसको then I take it like that. I take the love, I receive it, and I feel very happy about it. But then I go to somebody else and I'm like, please मुझे बताओ इसमें क्या करना चाहिए था.
What is it like to be yourself? Like, what is it like to be, an independent woman, single, all by herself, leading a life in a competitive industry and a competitive city like Bombay? Like, what is it like?
10 on 10, highly recommend.
Woo! I love it. Listen, you're not pessimistic, borderline bhi.
No, but I'm just saying this. See, it took me many years to build this life for myself.
Sure.
I'm not saying that I live some great luxurious life, but I know that it's better than a lot of people, and I'm very grateful for it, very thankful for it.
Right.
To have your own space, to be financially independent is so important. And this is something I have to thank my father for. He put this in my head at a very, very early age. From a very early age, he started telling me कि नहीं, अपनी identity होना चाहिए, अपने पैसे होने चाहिए. You need to have your own space. You need to, the confidence that this has given me is great, because I don't need to ask anybody permission.
Sure.
I don't need to worry about where I'm spending my money.
Right.
I don't need to make choices to, to please somebody else. Of course, I do that in a relationship, as two people should. कि आप दूसरे के लिए adjust करते हो और आप वो चीज़ें करते हो जिनसे उनको खुशी मिले, जो वो करते हैं जिनसे आपको खुशी मिले. But मेरे लिए कोई और decide नहीं करता मेरे बड़े decisions in my life. और ये बहुत ही बड़ी freedom है. And that's what I'm saying, I highly recommend. I hope that women go out there and get this for themselves. Right. Just secure this first before you do anything. That whole, हमें लगता है कि cities में हमें लगता है यहाँ बैठ के कि चीज़ें बदल गई हैं, but आप छोटे शहरों में चाहिए अभी भी the whole thing is about, the priorities are to marry off the daughter as soon as possible, or कि उतनी पढ़ाई करो जिससे you get a good match.
Yeah.
But I think that women now, and thankfully because of the internet and everything, this information is everywhere and examples are everywhere. I hope that more women take charge of their lives and make this base for themselves. Because इसके बाद ना you kind of एक confidence or fearlessness जो ये आपको देता है वो ऐसी है कि आपको लगता है कि आप कभी भी you will never be abandoned or left alone in life.
Yeah, I always say this. You know, my career will never dump me.
Yeah.
Like, I have this thing which is very... I'm 33.
That's such a great line.
Yeah, like...
Your career will never dump you.
Never dump me. So, my mom... As soon as I'm 33 right now. As soon as I turned 33 2 months back, my mom was like, Beta, abhi to shaadi karna padega na. Otherwise, how are you going to go forward? This, that. I said, I believe in love. I believe in companionship. But what I don't believe in is the fact that... I have to just get married because I'm 33.
Right.
You know, I need to make my career, and I know that boys might dump me or I might dump them. My career is never dumping me, and I'm not dumping my career ever. Because this actually gives me confidence. Like, I feel like when I'm in front of the camera, I drop every insecurity I have in my head. Every problem that I might be battling just takes like a, not even a backseat, I think वो चली जाती है उस moment के लिए. And then I'm just so in the present that when people talk about what is it to be in the present, for my answer would be like when I'm in an interview. Because I'm very present. I don't come with set questions. I want to know the person more. And I'm listening. I feel like, for me, if I'm listening to somebody, I'm present.
And the ownership of it is so lovely.
Yeah.
It's so nice to own something.
Yeah.
And it's not about a material thing.
Yeah.
That this show is your show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that feeling कि to build something, to create something, उस खुशी का, उस joy का कोई match ही नहीं है.
कोई match नहीं है. And you know, it also I'll tell you where it came from. You know, I think when it's 13 years since I'm working, but initially when you first, you know, get to a position where you have a team and, you know, they have to work with you. There might be some people who might be elder to you and, you know, you might be at the designation, which might be little higher than theirs, and they have to take instructions. Men often thought that she's only interested in fashion, hair, makeup, beauty, whatever, which all of it I am. I'm not denying that. I'm all of a 19-year-old and a 33-year-old body. But I'm not a dumb girl. Like, I know my job. You know, I know what I'm doing. I have an opinion. I exactly know what's coming to the table. And that's when the whole idea of not just a pretty face came in. That we women are way beyond our looks. And so what if you're boxing me? I don't wish to be boxed. Please, Kritika, share your experience. If anything like this has ever happened to you where you've just been told like, तुम चुप रहो, तुम अपना काम करो because तुम लड़की हो, तुम सुंदर हो, तुम्हें दिमाग लगाने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं. ऐसा हुआ? And I hope नहीं हुआ है, पर हुआ है तो
नहीं ऐसा होता है. ऐसे ये this is daily sexism that happens. It's very common. ऐसा होता है. A lot of times at work also you feel. A lot of times नहीं. अब नहीं. I want to clarify that now I've actually वही मैं कह रही हूँ कि शुरू में ज़्यादा होता है when people don't, and once you prove yourself, then you know work is the best revenge, as they say. Like your work speaks for yourself. Like it'll shut people up.
Right, for sure.
Okay, the right work. So that, I really believe in that, and that's why sometimes I just look down and just focus on what I'm doing, because I think that will speak for itself. I don't need to go out there and market anything. So, but this happens. I also think that, you know, it just got me thinking. अभी recently हुआ, मुझे एकदम से याद आया अभी while talking to you. Recently, I got into an accident. Okay, मेरी गाड़ी का accident हुआ, मैं shoot से वापस आ रही थी with a full face of makeup and everything. And यहीं पास में, and दोनों ही drivers की गलती थी. I think मेरे भी driver की, उनकी भी गलती थी, और जो सामने वाले थे उनकी भी थी. And it became a huge scene and everything. And now these men were trying to figure it out, and that conversation was going nowhere. That settlement was going nowhere. Cops को बुलाना है कि cops के पास जाना है, फिर एक आए भी पुलिस वाले and all that. Every time that I would get down or try to get down to do this, they would say कि नहीं आप गाड़ी में बैठो, आप गाड़ी में बैठो, and I'd be like but क्यों? Also मेरी गाड़ी है, जो भी compensation होगा पैसे मैं दूँ, मैंने दिए भी eventually, मैं दूँगी, तो can I be a part? Why can't I be a part of this conversation?
Right.
You know, कि you know, and it's not even कि कोई unsafe, कोई बड़ी कि they were looking out for me and saying कि आप गाड़ी में बैठो because don't be out on the road in the middle of the, no, this was in the evening, and अच्छी खासी चलती road थी, मतलब बहुत लोग थे वहाँ, men, women. In fact, there was a woman in the other vehicle as well. So every time I would get down, they would just not take me seriously. The cop came and he started talking to the men, and he would not look at me and talk. And so I asked him, I said, ki kya? And the men were not reaching any conclusion.
Right, I know, happens.
So then I had to at one point raise my voice and be like कि मेरी गाड़ी है, मैं भी यहाँ पे 2 घंटे से खड़ी हुई हूँ to solve this problem. मैं चाहूँ तो मैं जा सकती हूँ घर, पर मैं यहाँ खड़ी हूँ to solve this. आप मेरी बात क्यों नहीं सुन रहे हैं? मैं गाड़ी में थी जब ये हुआ. Why you not taking my account? Like, if you're a cop, you're here, you're asking, आप मेरे से भी पूछिए ना क्या हुआ? या जो दूसरे सामने गाड़ी का भी कोई और आया, उनको पैसे चाहिए थे, वो भी आपस में बात करें. So I find that really, like, you know,
exactly
that when it comes to this is कि तुमको समझ नहीं आएगा तुम गाड़ी में बैठो वाला. Or even when you talk about finances, for example, people just assume that because you're a woman, you will not know.
Yeah. इसको क्या पता होगा investment क्या होता है, stock market क्या होता है? I've heard, relatable.
So sometimes people just nicely casually go on having a conversation without even including you because they assume that आपके पास तो कुछ होगा ही नहीं to contribute to this conversation.
I know, I was told by a man very recently that your investment would be like just luxury bags, right? I said no, it's pretty much
it's
stock
a very
market.
good it's a very good investment. I want to tell people firstly.
Yeah, first there is, and I said second, even if there is, it's also the EMI that I'm paying for my own car and my house. So let's not talk about that. You know, like I'm just like don't get in that zone. And honestly, I'm not even a feminist. I'm a very gender neutral person. Like I love women as much as I love men. You know,
I'm a feminist and I make no bones about it.
It's okay. I mean, I don't judge anybody, but the reason I'm gender neutral is because I just feel like it's okay to be who we are, and it does not have to be debated.
But feminist is not gender neutral. Like what? Like when you say I'm not a feminist, what is your fear? What do you think feminism is?
No, for me, feminism is gender neutralness only. It's equal opportunities that all I link feminism to. Nothing else.
Right.
Now, whether it's equal opportunity, probably in a house where I'm wanting to cook and I'm not allowed to. It could also be that, or it could also be that I want to go out and work and I'm not allowed to. Why? Like my only question comes from why. Whatever you want me to do, give me a logic for it.
Well then, my friend, you are a feminist, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I
don't know. Yeah, you are.
Maybe then I am.
And so am I. And I think every woman is, because we want the best for ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, can I tell you something? I'm also not this person. Like, let's say if my partner decides to not work and take a sabbatical for 6-7 odd months, I would be okay sufficing for the house.
Okay.
Like, I'm okay. I wouldn't have a problem saying that you should have enough savings.
Still a feminist.
Yeah, okay, then maybe I'm that.
Yes,
but like, I'm very okay.
I feel like what has happened is that the word feminism has got a real bad rep.
Yeah, it's become like how selfish people think it's a negative
Of late. पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा हो गया है. And I feel very bad about that, honestly, being a feminist, because I think that there is just, even random comments and all that you will read, no? Sometimes these feminist types and पता नहीं क्या, what do people think feminists are? They need to just go and see the dictionary meaning. People have to just go and figure out what feminism is before saying कि ये feminist type or generalizing like that. Because what do you even mean? Feminists are not all men hating women.
Yeah, we're not bashing men.
I am bashing men also. But I'm just saying that it's not, there is an idea of a feminist that people have for both men and women, which is absolutely not true.
Right.
So I think it's just that the word is being, and this is the problem of patriarchy also, I'll tell you what. Feminism was a great movement. The fact that we can sit here and have this conversation is because of feminism, okay? Feminism is what will, I think, a big feminist movement is perhaps what we need to stop rapes in this country.
For sure.
Okay? How is that going to start if all of us feel apologetic about being feminists, or if we have to explain or say that actually we are not? So I think it is patriarchy. It is actually people who are kind of making feminism a bad thing, or a thing that young women don't aspire to be, are actually harming this. And we are in turn harming ourselves as women, because we'll never be able to band together if we don't, if it's not for feminism.
That's an interesting perspective. I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bask in Rita. We need like some 2 hours to chat.
Yes, this is a
coffee, and we're going to do that.
Yes, sorry.
No, of course not. You know what? I also want to understand at this given point in time what really stimulates you in life.
I love my job. I just like what you were saying, when what you feel like when you're in an interview, I feel like this on set. I think just the feeling of shooting for something or preparing for a role, or even being in that headspace for a while when you're becoming another person, is the most exciting part of my life. Like if that's going well, everything else is going well, I feel. So that is what excites me. That's what keeps me going professionally. It is the chance to get new characters to play, and I've also chosen some very different paths, unconventional sort of paths of late, which have obviously presented the challenge of preparation to me. So I have to really get into prep, and I really enjoy that. I'm a nerd basically. I really am. I'm so geeky. I like going into the nitty-gritties of things, of random things also. Most of my nights I'm up Googling, like, I don't know, things that I may never even use, or information that may never come handy, but just because I'm curious. So I'm essentially a very curious person. So when you give me another life to study, that's the ultimate project for me, because then I can just go nuts. I can then read up on it, find references for it, think about their lives and all of that, and body language and accent, and I love doing that work.
How secure and how much fun to do that. But so like, fun. Did you ever get so secure as an individual, like very early on in your life, or did that process happen to you through your course of being in an industry that's making you feel insecure?
I am not you know, I feel like it's impossible to be secure in this industry.
A little bit, like little more. Then how do you tackle your insecurities?
You can have. I mean, of course, you can be stable.
Sure.
I think that stability and a sense of a stable personal life also. I think your family, friends, partner, and to have some sort of independence financially and generally in the society, that can give you some sense of stability. But security, like internal emotional security, this profession, it makes it hard to be very secure.
Sure, yeah.
You have your insecure moments a lot, and there's actually nothing you can do about it except just acknowledging that, okay, I'm feeling this way and this feeling will pass. And then you can kind of just, you know, find a new light to follow. But it does, because the scrutiny is, you're constantly criticized on something that feels very personal as an actor, because it's an extension of you. So you're criticized on your looks, on how you maybe say or how you emote, but actually it's all an extension of you only, and it's not my work.
Correct.
It's not the art and the artist. Here it's the same, you know.
Yeah.
So it feels, it's just the inherent nature of it is that it feels very personal. And that's what makes you insecure also.
Right. What's your idea of love through the years? Has it changed? Has it evolved?
Yeah, it keeps evolving. I think my idea of romantic love has evolved greatly. And I, again, you know, I think that in my 30s, I find my idea of love to be a bit more sane.
Yeah.
A bit more my own, and not something that I've derived from a film or from a book or from things that I've seen.
Right.
Now I know myself, what I want and what I don't want in a relationship.
Yeah.
So that is an ever evolving thing. An ideal relationship, let's say, is an evolving concept on which I have much clarity now. But love, as I've seen with my parents, with when I've genuinely loved, is love is giving.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
You wouldn't relate to any of this whole situationships and flames.
It's too stressful.
It's too much.
I'm
too anyways a buddhi to relate to it.
I sometimes feel like I feel like I've missed out on this whole dating app
same
phenomenon.
Totally.
No regrets. Don't want to explore also. But I am curious sometimes, because I'm just so curious. I'm curious sometimes. So I vicariously live through my friends. कभी-कभी उनकी profile पे देख लिया कि क्या हो रहा है, उनकी life के बारे में सुन लिया कि क्या हो रहा है. तो I keep getting to know कि, you know,
this is how it is, right?
Yeah, these days Hinge is cool these days.
Raya!
Or like Raya, who's on Raya now?
Oh my god!
Or like who did people meet on Bumble and Bombay में कौन है? All this kind of gossip I keep getting. So I feel like that's part of the dating world I have very successfully bypassed.
Same. I'm having a bird eye perspective on that. मैं ऊपर से देख रही हूँ कि oh ये चल रहा है. This is what's happening.
But thank God, क्योंकि ये बहुत stressful लग रहा है मुझे.
I don't have the energy only to sit and do like small talk. Like अभी यहाँ पे only I'm talking इतना ज़्यादा. So imagine if I'm doing it on an app, I'll just be like I can't.
I just really enjoy meeting people.
Same.
I really do.
Yeah. I love the fact that you get to interact and you see the real person there and then, no? Like, what is this filter age?
And I love like interesting first meetings.
Me too.
So वो तो अब थोड़ी खत्म ही हो गई है ना, because on dating apps it's all quite like you have to orchestrate it to
too much.
They don't happen just by chance. It's not like you met somebody somewhere interesting.
Yeah, I just want to get to your headspace.
You still do.
Yeah, once in a while in a good place, it just happens when lady luck is shining or when luck is a man. It happens. It manifests. But otherwise, I feel like love in this generation is a whole different topic altogether. I might just have a show on that now.
Oh, wow.
Which only would talk about love. It'll be crazy.
I will be subscribing to that.
But well, you know, my parting note to you should obviously talk about things that I don't know, that would be very dear to you. So give me like a thing or two that you feel you hold so closely that no matter what happens, irrespective, you'll find it very difficult to let go of. Now that could be anything. That can be either your sense of worth, your fame, or your work, or anything else that I probably am missing out. Have you thought of it like that?
No. I actually haven't. Wow, that's the really deep question. I'm thinking, what is it that I would not be willing to give away?
Yeah. I'll share mine. Would that help? Okay. So this thought came to me very recently when I was just sitting with my bunch of friends, etc. And they said like, "Tujhe kisi se dar nahi lagta?" I said, "Nahi lagta." They're like, "How?" I said, "Nahi lagta." And then when I actually went into thinking about it, I realized that yeah, I think the thing that I'm really scared of is actually losing my parents.
Yeah.
I can let go of everything right now in my life, even if it's money. Easier said than done. We all need it.
Yeah.
But at the cost of doing this, I would probably let go of that.
Oh, completely relate.
So
completely.
That's where I come from.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Same. I think I've, touchwood, had a good childhood like that. And my parents are my biggest pillars. Like, it is the fact that they love me unconditionally and they believe in my dreams.
Right.
That is what keeps me going on days when nothing goes my way. In this work also.
Yeah.
And I mean, I couldn't do anything without them. I'm also all about family. I deeply value my own family and they come first, no matter what. And hopefully in the future when I have my own family as well, because I do believe in the concept and I want to have that for myself also. So when I have that, I think then that would also have the same status as you know, my parents and my brother.
Right.
So that I completely, you know, there is actually nothing else that matters to me more.
Yeah, it's become a very, I think it's a post-mature conversation that you have after you crack a certain age, you realize, and I'm always oscillating between not spending enough time with them.
Yeah.
And then when I'm with them, I'm on my phone. Because मुझे वहाँ का FOMO हो रहा है कि चल
When I'm with them, my father is on the phone. My parents use the phone more than me, I feel sometimes. Not my mom, she's actually very busy, but my father too is, he loves his social media.
Same. It's my dad. He's seen all my interviews. He'll go and tell me what other people are also doing. I said, but I don't need to know what they're doing.
Yeah, my father also very tuned in. My God.
Yeah, I'm like,
I got a full industry insider in my house only.
Same. But you know, this was fun. I'm so glad we could do this and in your lovely home.
Thank you. We should do this again. You should come more often.
Again. I know I need to do this more often where probably cameras are off and then we're like,
of course, more. Yes.
All the very best for anything and everything that you do right now going forward.
Thank you, Isha.
And keep seeing you more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going to keep seeing you more.
Yeah,
for sure.